Good evening and welcome to yet another edition of Gridiron Weekly. Your eyes are not playing tricks on you, I promise you. There's only two of us. John is not hiding in the background. We want to congratulate him on the pending nuptials for his daughter. He's busy this weekend getting the wedding together, being, I think, everything. I think he's an Uber driver, cake deliverer, the hotel manager. I think he's doing everything and anything he can to make sure it's successful. And we wish him the best of luck, and we miss him, and we'll see him next week. But I'm joined by none other than the A Train. William Akins is here. I bet you didn't know that was the A Train sitting there, but it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's the A Train. And you know what we do on the show? We have a blast. We talk about the NCAA. We talk about the NFL. And we pick topics that are that interest us and try to figure out what the heck's going on, even in the off season, because we love football. We want more of it. We need more of it because it's great. It's football. So without further ado, we're going to start and talking about college football, right? Which is pretty amazing, especially in the offseason. So we talked about all the changes, all the stuff that's going on, record number of coaching changes. This person went here, that person went there. They took these players with them. They took that. They did this. They did that. So the first question I have for you, William, and I'll join you, I'll take the part of John. First question I have is, you look at the landscape of college football, what's going on in SEC, ACC, all the big ones. Do you think, first of all, that Lane Kiffin is going to have such an effect on LSU that they win automatically? And remind you, he does have the quarterback from Arizona State University. Love it. But go ahead, Billy. Start us off.
Well, I mean, I think, he took over, I think, with the goal of exceeding previous expectations and successes, I think. He's got a pretty high budget roster, I would say. But I really believe it's kind of like college football playoff or bust for him. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. No, we're having some trouble here.
What's that?
We're having some trouble with some of our streams here.
Uh-oh.
So
who said that?
StreamYard says that.
Oh. So. We're still live?
We're still live. Yeah, we're still live. We're just having some trouble.
Okay.
We're getting knocked off a few of them.
All right. Bear with us, folks, as we have a little technical difficulty above and beyond our pay grades collectively.
No, but I mean, I think, Sam Levitt's going to be the key to the success, I think, of them. Oh, God, it's doing it again. So, Sam Levitt's going to be the key to their success. He's got some high pressure. He's got some high pressure, no doubt about it.
So what if, God forbid, they don't succeed? Then what?
Well, I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, could tar and feathering be in his future? Maybe. I don't
know if that's still allowed in the South. Maybe in some dark places in the Bayou. But I think you're right.
Well, I mean, they did that in the Boston Bay. So
yeah, it's true. But they did it elsewhere, I'm sure. But I think your point is great. I mean, they did spend a lot of money in the offseason. And I think he can coach. I think, going to LSU, I still don't know, man. Would you have gone or would you have stayed?
Would I have gone to LSU, leaving Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ole Miss is an absolute dump,
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. If you ever been down that area, it sucks.
My niece goes to college there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dump. LSU's a lot. It's a step up for sure, I think.
Yeah. They have a lot of money down there in Louisiana. I mean, it is going to be interesting. And I think he can win. I just don't know what are the expectations of the LSU fans and the LSU faithful. They got the coach they desired. And, first year, you got to win. You got to go at least 10 wins, right? You can't come in there and go 8-4. That's what they just fired. Right? They just fired 8-4. You got to be able to do something. I'm just interested to see how quickly they adapt to his offense. I mean, coming over from Arizona State, I think it's intriguing. I'm sure he put a lot of time and thought into it to see who best fit his system. So I'm interested to see, not only the fact that he recruited this guy, but can the guy, run the offense and, can they protect him? They got a lot of big boys down there. So what about Michigan? He goes from Utah to Michigan. He kind of saved the program. It was a complete disarray when, their previous coach suddenly got arrested on campus for just absolute insanity. But what do you think he can do up there?
Whittingham?
Yeah.
Well, it's he's entering a very tumultuous period in Michigan football. He's tasked with probably they're going to want instantaneous success up there with him, which might be. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think they're always going to Michigan in the last few years. Their number one key has always been how do we how do we beat Ohio State year after
Right.
year? How do we beat Ohio State?
Right.
You have. I mean, he did retain some talent. Bryce Underwood is staying. I maybe they have a little bit of a competitive edge in the Big Ten, but I mean, I think they're going to be. They're going to want immediate success, I think.
Yeah.
I don't.
As far as coaching, I think he's a great coach. I think he's going to bring that, like you said, tumultuous times. I think he's going to bring, a steadying aspect to that team and just be able to coach them and not worry about the outside stuff.
And
he's going to get more talent out of Underwood, maybe.
Yeah, and he's intense. He's a very intense coach,
Yeah.
and he probably puts a lot of high expectations on himself. So
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they did retain a lot of talent. Again, it's an interesting situation. They haven't gone to the SEC cannibal model yet, where they have to play 9 of their teams, so they still have those cupcakes on there. I think if he comes out and he's bang on as a coach, and they come and they beat Ohio State, what happens to Ryan Day? I mean, he's going to be 2 years removed from a college football championship, but they don't have any patience in Columbus. They really don't.
Right.
You lost your first round game. They're ready to get rid of him right now. And quite frankly, maybe he knows something you and I don't. Well, obviously he does because he's making millions a year. But he hires Arthur Smith, which I just don't understand. Somebody's going to have to sit down and explain to us, Barney style, why he hired Arthur Smith, because I don't get it. I don't know about you, but I don't get it.
No, I don't get it at all. I think it's not good. I think it's very bad actually for them. I don't think that he's going to bring much to the table.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, that's just I just don't think he's going to bring much to the table.
Yeah, and I think UCLA hiring JMU's coach. Does he get more out of Ilamalayaha, Nico? Or at quarterback, can he be the surprise? Indiana this year maybe, and what do you think? Does Indiana keep winning? I mean, how long are they going to take the streets? At 16.
Well, games? I mean, you're losing Mendoza. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I don't know. That's a very good question. I don't know if they're going to keep winning or not.
He's losing a lot of key players off that team to the NFL.
He is, which is going to really make it hard.
It is, but they're running this 16 game. I'm curious how much he can squeeze out of it, because if he gets to I don't know, if he gets undefeated again, this guy is going to be I've never seen a coach like him after that, right? If he goes undefeated again, makes his way again it's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, I hate to say it because I'm a big fan, but I think he may take a little bit of a step back. Just because, I mean, if he had most of his roster intact going into this season, I would say, yeah, absolutely. They're gonna be, right up there in contention. I just don't see it. I'm going to be honest with you. I just don't see it. I just think you lost a lot, and in this day and age, and it's not like it was back, 30 years ago in college football, where you kind of, it's just, it's a revolving door with NIL and with the portal and just with everything, and managing it is like a full-time job in itself. Let alone trying to coach a team that So
and you bring up the portal. I think there are a lot of times in the past though, coaches held grudges. They would hold on to players just to be a jerk. I'm glad the players have freedom. You got to somehow figure out a way to put some guards on it somehow. Put up some bumper guards on it somehow. But I like the idea where that was in the past. Coaches just buried players on their roster and they never got to play. Literally never got to play. They just sat on the bench. Now you have players. I think it's also good for the game because you can spread the talent around, right? So you go get the second and third string who are 3-star, 4-star recruits, and you let them play. You see all the movement, which I think is good. All right, we're going to continue our coaching, and we're going to move to Roll Tide, Alabama. Kalen DeBoer, he got to be on the hot seat, right, Billy?
Yeah. I mean, I knew when he took over for Saban, I knew this was going to be tough for him. I just knew it was going to be tough for him.
Yeah.
It's just you're filling big shoes. You're filling really big shoes, and
what did they do? Quarterback. He lost the players of the NFL.
yeah,
it's going to be tough. He lost a lot of players in the transfer portal.
He did too. Yeah, he lost a lot of players. Yeah, he did as well. Yeah.
I mean, how long is Alabama going to last with him being just mediocre? I mean, and they got embarrassed by Indiana. I mean, embarrassed.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing: they don't have a lot of patience down there.
Right.
They don't have a lot of patience down there. It's not like, Saban. When you look at it, he was pretty consistent. He was pretty consistent winner.
Yeah.
And they expected, the expectations were always high. I mean, they've always been high ever since freaking, Bear Bryant. I mean, they've been high down there, and Nick Saban delivered. Kalen DeBoer he's not delivered. I mean, I don't listen. I don't think he should get all the criticism that he gets. Like, I think that some of it is unwarranted.
Sure.
Just by the landscape of college football and how it is.
Right.
Saban got out when before this NIL and portal stuff happened. He didn't have to deal with it. He ducked out before. Because he saw the writing on the wall.
No doubt. Conscious decision. I totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, he saw the writing on the wall of what was going on, and just didn't want any parts of it. And an old school coach like that, rightfully so, he's not gonna adjust too well to that type of college football landscape. But this guy, I think, like a lot of fans, some fans just, and I mean, I don't mean to insult people's intelligence. Some fans they're just not smart enough to differentiate that it's a different landscape now in college football. They
Right.
think it's, it's still 2006. We should still be, winning, and we should still be, and it's just not. It's a different landscape than what it was 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
Right.
So.
And I also think that given the new schedule, the SEC is going to just brutalize each other.
Yeah.
That's why it's going to be fascinating to see what happens with Lane Kiffin, what happens with Kalen DeBoer. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a power struggle because other than that, I mean, who do you think who's going to be the best? Georgia's there. Georgia's always going to be good. Who else is Georgia going to face? It's going to be Georgia, LSU.
I mean,
going to fix that offense in LSU.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Kalen DeBoer, I mean, in that Alabama team, they got off to a bad start with season opening loss to Florida State, and right from the out the gate, they were like, their season was kind of in question,
Right. Do you think? I mean, the game between Indiana and Alabama, there was a wide margin between talent and coaching. Do you think that goes into the next season and there still is that, and he's just in a league where he's just drowning, or what?
Yeah, well, I think when you unlike his previous coaching, jobs that he had, when you coach at Alabama, man, your mistakes are magnified. They're amplified. Critics are going to question you if you can't handle the adversity, and you can't, you're going to get, it's just, critics are going to question your ability to lead the team through adversity. I mean, they're just going to do that.
It's going to be. I think it's going to be fascinating. I don't know if the other conferences are going to, if they watch this year and they see the SEC just beat the hell out of each other and not get that many teams in the playoff. I don't think other teams find the next mediocre. Hold on, Todd. We're not there yet, buddy. We're getting there. Good to hear from you, there, brother. It's going to be. I don't think other conferences. I think it's going to be a detriment to the SEC if they keep playing and nobody else switches to it. maybe the voters are like, well, the SEC's playing quality teams, or I don't know what the voters are going to do. It's going to be very interesting. That first poll comes out mid-season when the SEC's playing each other. All right, Billy. Next question for you, and I'll play the assist with John. Obviously, we know Big Ten last 3 championships, right? Big 12's got 16 teams. They appear as if they're deep. They, are they going to break through? Is it going to be the Big 12 that breaks through and breaks the streak of 3 years in a row of the Big Ten victory? Go ahead, buddy.
I don't know.
And keep going.
I mean, I look at it like this. Like what's that?
I'm going to give you some of the schools too while you're talking.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the Big Ten, I think, is when you look at it, I mean, it's going to be a dominant, force heading into 2026. I think, you've got still elite rosters at Ohio State, Oregon, but I think the Big 12 can theoretically maybe break this, this supremacy, and it's just by the
sheer number, maybe.
Well, yeah, in this 12-team playoff format, what is it? The Big 12 champion is going to receive an automatic bid, and you'll have a direct path to challenge the Big 10.
So for the folks out there, Big 12 is Texas Tech, BYU, Utah, Houston, Arizona State, Iowa State, Kansas State, TCU, Cincinnati, Baylor, Kansas, UCF, the outlier, West Virginia, the outlier, Colorado, and Oklahoma State. A lot of those teams with very rich and deep football histories. So go ahead, Billy.
Yeah, I mean, you still the Big Ten it's going to be dominant. I mean, you still have Indiana, you still have Iowa, or I'm sorry, Ohio State, Oregon. But I mean, I don't know.
I think the Big 12. I mean, big conference, and these teams were all ranked at one point in time.
Yeah, BYU. What about them? I mean,
not in the near not in the too far distant past. I mean, all these teams are ranked. Texas Tech, BYU, Utah's ranked consistently. Houston, Arizona State, Iowa State's ranked all the time. Kansas State, Snyder started with his reign there. TCU's ranked. They made it to a championship game against Michigan.
I mean, so to answer your question, do I think that they could potentially
upset the apple cart?
Probably it's probably a long shot.
All right.
I mean, honestly, it's probably a long shot.
If not them, then who? Which conference?
Well, definitely don't think it's the ACC.
Come on, man.
No, it's not the ACC. I mean, obviously it's the SEC. I mean, right? I mean, it's got to be that's the biggest threat to the Big Ten's throne. Come on,
But I mean, I'm thinking about the SEC. They're going to be battered and bruised. They just are.
Oh, I understand that, but
teams against each other. What about Notre Dame?
Yeah,
Think they contend at all?
Yeah, I think they contend, but
they're not the ones that are going to push it on over and win it.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I mean, you look at the teams that they played, right? They played quality teams. It's just they couldn't win it.
I really think Oregon could really make a splash this year. I think Ohio State's going to take a step back. I think Indiana takes a step back. I really think Oregon is the one team. When you look at the Big Ten, I think when you look at at just the roster continuity, if you will, Oregon has really they've bolstered their roster and they've kept it fairly. And they've lost a couple, but nothing really major. Nothing like Ohio State has lost, and nothing like Indiana has lost, especially Indiana.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you because I think bringing back Dante Moore, he's probably the best quarterback in that Big Ten now, other than just saying.
Julian right. Yeah, and I just don't know. I like I said, we kind of make light of it, and and we kind of joke about it, but I'm kind of serious. Arthur Smith coaching Ohio State, I don't know. I don't know what was. I don't know. I don't know what possessed them to say, "Hey, let's go out and hire this guy." This guy. Yeah, this guy has not done jack, squat, really.
Right.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
agree.
and he's, like I don't know. I don't know what their hiring criteria was, for him. I don't know what it was. Like I
Other
just
than the Schwa de Vie that they have two NFL coaches on their staff, but I 100% agree with you. He is not running an offense that is modern day high flying. Maybe he changes his tune when he gets there, but I
well,
can't believe that his boring run first is going to be popular.
no, he's conservative to the
Yeah,
max. He's
yeah,
conservative offense to the max, like super conservative. Like
right.
we thought some of these other coordinators and coaches were bad. Like he's like the poster child to conservative offenses. I just I don't know what they were thinking. And I tell you, I like Oregon. I just think that they're bad. I think they're I'm favoring them to win the Big Ten. I just think that Danny Lanning's a good coach as well too, and I
Well, I
just
think
think
that
that
they bring back the best quarterback other than Julian Sand. I think it's Dante Moore
correct.
first and Julian
Yeah,
Sand second.
yeah, and I mean I just think that team's going to be they're gonna really turn some heads. I really believe it.
It's always tough to play up there too. Otten
It
Stadium,
is.
you
It
got to make
is.
that long ride. It's
Yep.
gloomy, it's rainy,
Right.
you know.
Yep.
So I think that's a great point. All right, we're
Yep.
going to move on to our next Arch Manning. Now that he goes in undisputed, another full year of he'll get in the spring game. We'll talk about those. Don't understand it, but we'll talk about those as the offseason continues. Undisputed king of Texas. Looks like he's poised to break every record in Texas. Maybe actually win a Heisman. It's got that look. It's got that feel. They again, they have a gauntlet to go through the SEC. What do you think? Is Arch Manning the undisputed favorite Heisman coming in, and will he just wreck all the Texas passing records?
Well, I'm going to say this: he started off kind of wishy-washy last
Yeah.
season, but really played well in the
Yeah.
after the first like 3-4 games, he just really seemed to click, and and especially at the end of the season, the last handful of games at the end of the season, he was really looked good, and
Bad phone. I agree with you. That's why I would have liked to see the expanded playoffs. I would love to see them in playoffs because they were getting hot.
right, yeah.
Do you think he threatens all the Texas records and comes out slinging from
Well,
day one?
I think he could possibly break Colt McCoy's 34 touchdown. His season, 34 touchdowns in a season mark. I think he could. I mean, he's gonna be aided by this expansion too. So
To me, it looks like he's matured and he's just ready to go.
yeah,
And I think that the whole nation's going to step up and say,
yeah.
Arch Manning's here.
Everybody was saying about Quinn Ewers and Ellinger and all that stuff. When you look at it, after 11 starts, he had some rough ones in there, but overall he showed better numbers in passing yards, touchdowns, rushing touchdowns than all those guys. So
yeah, his speed was really. I don't think anybody saw that coming, given his pedigree.
I mean,
but then again, his dad was a wide receiver, so
right. I mean, exactly. Cooper.
Yeah.
What man Peyton always says is the best athlete of the Mannings. If it wasn't for that, whatever that, it was some kind of degenerative back issue that he had.
Spinal stenosis.
Yeah. So, but I mean, hey, when you look at it, late 2025, he became the first Texas QB in program history to record passing, rushing, and a receiving TD in one game. I mean, he's, I think he's the top Heisman contender and leading passer.
But when he comes in, does he really take it by? I mean, for a cheesy pun or analogy, does he really just take it by the horns and come out first game 5 touchdowns? Right? Does he do that?
I mean, judging on what I saw at the tail end of last year, I wouldn't see why not. I mean, I think he really figured it out. I really think he figured it out. A lot of people were doubting him, and rightfully so. You saw the first couple start, but hey, listen, his uncle had that problem too. In Tennessee, he struggled his first couple years there. He had some struggles, but he figured it out.
Right.
And I mean, how he struggled it when he went to Indianapolis, in '98.
Yep.
he was, but he figured it out. I mean, so everybody looks at the Manning name, and I that's the biggest problem, I think, is the fact that his uncles are who they are, and his dad and his grandfather is who he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they look at him and they have the bar is already high for him. You know what I mean? Whereas if he was Arch, Thompson, it wouldn't be, people would be like, wow, who's this guy?
Who's this Arch Thompson guy?
Who's this guy? Yeah, like who's this guy? Like, wow, this guy's like, wow, yeah, like this guy is really coming to his own. Whereas people are like, with him, they're like, well, why didn't he be dominant from start one? Like he's a Manning. Like what the hell,
Yeah, and that's a great point. The pedigree, the NFL loves a pedigree.
Right.
You see it on the Steelers, but you see it on every other team. The Steelers are an example that has many, pedigree. But you're right. You're right. All right, we got a bonus question. Bonus question.
Yep.
Billy, who is the most? How am I going to phrase this? Who's the most impactful non-quarterback player coming into the 2026 season? On offense, not defense, on offense.
Who is the most impactful?
Yeah. I got one.
Go ahead. I'm just thinking here.
Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State.
Well, that was actually who I was going to say. Yeah. I mean
he's going to tear. But it's funny because they signed a Smith, who's a run first guy. Are his numbers going to go down?
I mean, one would think, right?
Yeah, but then why? It goes back to the question: why you hire the guy when you have this premier wide receiver who's been NFL ready, honestly, since he was a freshman. Even his body type has been NFL ready. Going into his third year, Colonel Tate had a great year last year, but going into his third year, he's the man.
Right.
I think the whole offense is going to be focused around him. Is there anybody else you could think around the country other than a quarterback that's going to make some sort of impact?
I mean,
the other one I was thinking of, I love the kid, the running back Lacey out of Ole Miss. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, hey, what about we were talking about Arch Manning in Texas. What about Cam Coleman?
Yeah.
He was a transfer, he's a wide out, I mean, he's
going to make a huge impact.
I mean, yeah, I think Cam Coleman, I think he would be one. I agree. Jeremiah Smith, I mean,
yeah,
I think he's probably one of the best receivers in college football,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to talk defensively, I think like Caleb Downs is another guy who I would look at.
He's leaving now. He's coming out.
Okay, he is coming out. Okay.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I think those are great, and I can't wait as we transition to the NFL here. I can't wait till we start talking about the spring games because we struggle every year to figure out what the hell they are. And I mean, what is good, what is bad, because it is full contact. They're going for it,
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird when you get the scores and, they pack these stadiums. Good Lord. They get 70, 80, 90,000 in the South to go to these games.
Well, yeah, and because they just love football. And I mean, that's just they just want to anytime like, hey, Alabama scrimmage, it's just, it's to them, it's like Alabama football. It's like,
weather gets a little warm, they go out and play.
Yeah, right. Crimson and white, it's like, oh God, So like, especially like I said, Alabama, man, they pack that, they really take that, but yeah, I mean, it's not. You don't got guys lighting each other up, really. I mean, it's
better than the darn. It reminds me of the way they used to play the Pro Bowl in the NFL.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it reminds you like Pro Bowl from like 2001.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or
what was the guy's name? He was number 90 for the Broncos who got ejected in the Pro Bowl for fighting. What was his name? Remember him, the defensive end?
Yeah. Yeah, I forget his name.
Remember that name? Well, it'll take me. It'll hit me.
Yeah.
Smith was it? Neil Smith? No,
I don't think it was. No, it was Neil Smith. He played for Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, I don't.
That's what it reminds me. They're thumping, they're hitting, they're actually playing football. So it'll be interesting. I have my thoughts on that, and so do you. But hey, and get ready, folks. We're chugging down there, man. We're gonna be March here soon. So those games are in April, so it's going to be fascinating to see those games. But we're going to do our transition. We don't have any transmission music. Billy's working on that. or any sort of video that goes weird. We're working on that. But we're going to switch to the boys that play, or the men that play every day of the week, 6 times on Saturday. They play every corner of the earth. And this year they will go from Australia back down to Brazil. I mean, everywhere. And pretty soon there's going to be, 18? Or no, not 18. It's going to be what? 16 games abroad, right? Because every team's going to play one game abroad. So you have to have 16 to get to 32. Yeah. So that's going to be very interesting. We're going to have 2 weeks without an international game. And that's where you're going to have to rely on AI because, my God, the schedule is going to be tough, especially when you're going worldwide. You're going to Paris this year. It's all going to be fascinating. But I digress and I procrastinate. It's time to talk about the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl review. So I didn't really put anything on there, Billy. I'm going to let you start and give you the soapbox for a while and give us some thoughts on the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, 9-0 at halftime. I mean, that should pretty much, tell you kind of where this, it was a snoozer. I got to say, I mean, the Seahawks really did dominate. I mean, it was a 29-13 win. But it was just, I don't know. It was like a non-offensive, Super Bowl. I mean, the Seahawks just had relentless defense. I mean, Patriots could not do anything, not anything. I mean, hey, I look at Kenneth Walker III got the MVP. You could have probably given Jason Myers the honorable mention,
their special teams had a fabulous game.
I mean, at halftime, it was it was a punting and field goal kicking contest. And I'll
just with
punt, pass, and kick. Is what it was.
Yeah. Everyone was looking for Andy Reid. But I'll just pepper you with questions to it. So, were you surprised with the lack of adjustments from the New England offense after halftime?
I was. I thought that they would come out and they would, I thought that they would come out and they would be, they would march down the field and score and do it quickly. And it just looked to me like the offense. I don't know. It was like, was Josh McDaniels, did he all of a sudden start speaking a different language to these players? Or
seemed like it, right?
I didn't understand what was going on. I mean, I thought like, okay, it's 9-0 going into halftime. New England's going to come out and they're going to, they're going to get, up temp. I thought like even like a 2-minute drill at some point in time, just keep that same defense on the field,
right?
And let's go down and try to score quickly and get back in this game. And it just seemed to me like there was just like, I don't know, there was no adjustments made.
So I was listening to some of the review of the game on the radio, and I'll get your opinion on this. So they have a fullback, they have an extra offensive lineman, extra tight end. When they ran those plays, there was only 8 of them, right? And every single one of them was a positive game. So why, in your opinion, do they just not go back to that?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Doesn't that seem odd? They say 9-0. These people say the NFL's rigged, and they keep saying that. And, when stuff like that happens, it kind of makes you wonder. I mean, I don't think it is rigged, but I mean, when stuff like that happens, you just kind of like, why would you not do that? Plus it's the same way. Yeah, it's the same way with not taking points. Like, I don't understand, what the thinking is on that. Analytics is killing the game.
Yeah, they're taking away the gut feeling from the coaches. I remember San Francisco running a trap run with what's his name, 71, the big silverback. Well, he's coming down and crushing people. They could have done that. They didn't do any of that. Right. For me, fullback is key. He's picking up blitzers. I mean, where were the chips? Where was the wide receiver, tight end running down and killing that end?
Well, yeah, I thought like going into this game, I really thought they were going to target Hunter Henry more. I expected him to have a big game. I expected him to have maybe even a couple touchdowns.
100 yards, 120 yards.
Yeah, I love this. I love that guy. I love him. He's one of my favorite players in the league. Really, I love him. He's awesome.
But they didn't have anybody. I mean, I would be killing those defensive ends. I would have chipped with Diggs. I would chip with Henry. I mean, they didn't do any of that stuff.
Well, and I said this. I think I mentioned this last night on our Pittsburgh show. I don't know if Bo Nix doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know. You had Jared freaking Stidham in there. No offense to him. I mean, he
played in 3 years.
You're right, and he didn't play half bad in that AFC Championship. Yeah. He really didn't. But I just think Bo Nix would have won that game. He would have beat New England, I think.
Right. But like, why didn't they run May anymore? He must have been really hurt because he took a pain injecting shot in his shoulder, so he must have been really hurt. They didn't do any. I mean, there was no RPOs, there was no called runs, there was nothing. There was no double teams, no traps.
It almost seemed to me like halfway through the third quarter, like, I don't know. It almost seemed like Vrabel was like, "Hey guys, we're not going to win this game. Let's just kind of let's just kind of coast it out here,
Which is shocking from a Vrabel team because that defense really held up. I mean, you're 9-0, you go 12-0. Right. If you're looking for that mistake, you're going in the fourth quarter 12-0.
They kept them in the game, and I mean, if you're on that defense, you're looking at the offense and like, okay, guys, we can't keep doing this. Can you guys can you be somewhat productive here? We're trying to hold this thing together, but we're going to need you to be productive as well.
And then you find out their left tackle had a serious knee injury. He's going to have surgery. I mean, all these things come out after the fact. That going in is variable. Why aren't you keeping people in? It was very odd. I've never seen a team like that not keep people in, and just the fullback would have been perfect. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
I really didn't understand what was going on. I mean, I didn't. It just, like you said, I expected some major adjustments at halftime. God, you had 45 minutes.
Right.
I mean, it's
trying to translate the halftime. But,
I mean, it was like two games, really. I mean, when you play the Super Bowl, it's like you gotta find a way to, and you have plenty of time to sit down. I mean, hell, I told my brother-in-law coming out of halftime, I said, Christ, the Patriots probably could have watched film.
Right?
They probably could have went and watched film and
watched the entire first half. You're right. They could have. Yeah. I was kind of shocked at that. It made me, very cynical. And I'm like, come on. A high school coach would have done better adjusting. He would have said, "Hey, the left tackle's getting killed. We got to keep somebody in to help him. We'll flip flop it. Because the tight end can move. Leave your 5 down lineman there. Tight end can move left and right before the play."
I mean, in a regular season game, too, you kind of get it. Like, okay, they only have, 15-minute halftime.
Right.
When you have 45 minutes, you would think that you would be, okay, guys, we need to really look at this. Let's go over some things. I mean, get your coordinators in there and say, okay.
No better point you made than that is they had enough time to watch the film. They could have put it on a freaking projector. Slide by side. All right, Will, what are you doing here? How about you get a half step this way as opposed to taking a jump step backwards? They could have done that. You're right.
Yeah. Here, you know what, guys? This play, we're taking this off. Here's some plays that we simulated in practice and we looked at. Here, we're going to throw this in. I mean, they had plenty of time to make adjustments. I mean, you could have crumpled the game plan up and started a new game plan.
Totally.
I mean, you could have done some, and it seemed to me like they just did nothing at halftime. I don't know what they did at halftime. It was very weird. It just seemed like there was no, and even my brother-in-law said that he's like, it just doesn't seem like they made any adjustments. I'm like, yeah, like they didn't. It doesn't seem like they did anything.
Look, I thought exactly like you thought. I thought 9-0, no big deal. They're going to come out. This is why they deferred to the second half. Their decision. They're going to come down. It's going to be 9-7. Game on.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. I mean, they got the ball.
Yeah,
they got the ball coming out, and I'm like, they're going to march this down. I mean, I would have done 2-minute drill. I would have done whatever. Hey guys, listen. I know 2-minute drill sucks, but guess what? We got to score fast. Like we got to get back in this game. We got to put 7 on the board, make it 9-7. We got to go out and punch them in the mouth. Like we're going 2-minute drill. Like we're doing it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're going 2-minute drill. Like we're going down there quickly and we're scoring.
And there was nothing like that. Nothing.
No.
I mean, to me, it was too odd to be. It was like too perfect. But anyway, all right.
Yeah.
We're going to move on now. We're going to talk about both those teams. They're coming out. New England's going to have a brutal schedule. Seattle's going to have a brutal schedule. They face every top team from every, all their odd games and their crossover games are all division winners and all playoff teams. So you add all those teams that were in the playoff last year. And quite frankly, New England got lucky because they're going to have to face Josh Allen again.
Right. They did get lucky.
Who knows what's going to happen with the other two terrible teams in their division? But you're going to have to fight Buffalo.
And like I said, they got lucky in the AFC Championship game, in my opinion. If you'd have had Bo Nix, you would have.
But you look at their games, and not to say the Chargers, no offensive tackles. They're missing both their offensive tackles.
Yeah. I know where you're going.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Houston, they had some elementary school kid playing quarterback. And then
all playoffs, the entire playoffs, he tried to gift the game to the Steelers, to my Steelers, and the Patriots. He gifted them,
all of them.
And he wrapped it and put a bow on it and had a name tape on it and everything for them.
And they get there and they just crap the bed. Anyway, so Billy, of those two teams, which one do you think comes closest to getting back to the Super Bowl? Not the playoffs. Well, we'll talk about it too. Does either team miss the playoff? And if they don't miss the playoff, how far do they go? And what team do you think is poised to get right back to the Super Bowl? Go ahead.
I mean, I don't see how anybody could count out the Seahawks of getting back there. I mean, I don't, I would even, hell, I would even maybe say the Rams too. I mean, if you want to really look at that division.
San Fran's going to be healthy?
Yeah, they're going to be healthy as well. But I would think that they would be the odds-in favorite going into this season, and they should be,
Right, defending champs. My thing is, I don't think I think Seattle makes the playoffs. I don't think they go back, though. I don't think they win their division.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. I mean, it's, the Super Bowl hangover is real. I mean, it's,
no doubt. But I just think those crossover games and those games against other divisions and those extra games, they both have to play the number one seed. Right? They don't get any patsies. They got the number one seed of each one of those teams, and that is just brutal.
Right.
When you look at it, it's brutal.
Yeah.
So I think New England, they were ahead. I don't know. Vrabel's a good coach, but Buffalo's coming back strong and healthy in their new stadium. They got a brand new coach in Brady. I think the AFC is not as tough as the NFC because Seattle's going to have it tough in their own division. If they get out of their own division, win it again, I would be shocked.
And I'm going to just say this too. People said this year about the Bills, like, oh, Josh Allen has the easiest path to the Super Bowl. He doesn't have to deal with Mahomes. He doesn't have to deal with Burrow. He doesn't have to deal with any of that. At this stage, and when you really look at the landscape of the AFC and you look at how the Chiefs are and the Bengals and some of these, I think the only team he really would have to worry about, I think, is maybe the Ravens. But I mean, I think the Chiefs are a non-factor at this point. The dynasty, I think, is done.
Well,
and I think that
Billy, we've tracked it year in year out, and I've told everybody 1,000 times, it's the second year. Mahomes is going to be crap.
Yeah.
Crap.
Well, he has that ACL injury. Yeah, I mean, he had a late season ACL injury. It wasn't like he got injured, week 3. It was a late season ACL injury, and I think that their time is done, and I don't think it's going to be. I think, truthfully, I think Josh Allen. I think the Bills parting ways with McDermott probably was the best thing for them. At this point, I just don't think that guy was able to get him over the edge. And but by that same token, I'm kind of surprised that nobody gave him an interview either.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, they're still defensive. He could still go to Oakland, or I'm sorry, Las Vegas.
Yeah, I was just shocked that no head coaching, open head coaching, or teams with open head coaching positions didn't.
Well, we only see one side of it. Maybe his people put out that he's not interested in coaching this year.
Correct.
We don't know that.
Right.
I too am just like you, and I was kind of shocked that he didn't get anything.
Right.
You
And
know,
that's probably it. He probably said, "Hey, no, no head coaching.
right.
Maybe,
I don't want to do it this
maybe,
year.
maybe he wants to be a coordinator again.
Yeah, take a
You
little bit
know,
of time off and do
right?
that. But I think the Patriots are going to be hard pressed. They just are. I mean, because I think the AFC's coming back, and it's and Kansas City. You're right, because he's not going to be healthy this year. He's just not. He's not
No.
going to be healthy until next year. And next year, in the 27 season, he's not going to have Kelsey. Kelsey's gone.
Yeah.
He's not playing
Well,
after this year.
yeah. He's got
Anthony,
one more
even if he
year.
plays.
I was to say, I don't even know if he's going to play this year.
Yeah, but I'm saying
I mean,
that's why I agree with you. So that division goes to probably what? Denver again?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With the Chargers.
Oh
Chargers,
yeah. It's going to go to Denver again. I
Yeah.
still believe in Bo Nix. I really do. I still believe in him. And I was, I was literally, I was pretty, because I, to be honest with you, I really wanted him to win the Super Bowl this year. I really wanted to see a Denver Seahawks matchup, and I wanted to see him. And I really believe, had Denver been in there instead of New England, you would have seen a lot better game. You would have seen a better game. And I think that,
but they're
in
the same draft, though.
I know, but I think Peyton would have made a lot more adjustments.
Oh yeah,
than Vrabel did, and I think Peyton would have outcoached McDonald. I think.
Well, I think the idea that Vrabel's a defensive guy and he made adjustments. That defense was playing their ass. They really were.
Right. But I mean, this isn't 2000 Ravens.
Yeah, you're right.
You needed to have the offense, pull their weight, and they did not. They did not do that at all.
They didn't at all. You're right. But I was a little shocked by that. But there's nothing.
I was too.
Yeah. All right, we're going to do a little transition again. Billy, all head coaching positions are now filled.
Yeah.
Give me, instead of ranking them, because go ahead and rank them if you want.
Okay.
Or give me the two best and the two, whatever you want to do. It's your call.
Yeah.
But your thoughts on the 10 head coaches that were replaced? 30%.
Well, number one, I would have to go with was Baltimore. I would have to kind of go with Baltimore. I think that Minner's in probably a good situation. He's in a good situation. I think with you've got it's a good franchise.
Yeah.
Pretty strong front office. Good quarterback. So I would put them at number one. I know you're probably going to love this, but I probably would put my Steelers at number two. Just because I don't know. I think that, listen, I don't, we've talked about it numerous times ad nauseum about what we think of Art. And I don't, I don't particularly think he's the greatest of owners.
Yeah.
But I think it's still kind of a stable franchise. And I think that you've got McCarthy in there, and you've got the historic track of semi-success, not having a losing season is not really much to hang your hat on when they haven't won a playoff game since 2016. But however, I mean, just looking at the other teams in the head coaching positions, I'd have to put my Steelers at number two, just by franchise. Number three, I would probably have to go with Atlanta, because I think he's going to have
with Stefanski.
Yeah, and I think Stefanski's a good coach, and I think Raheem Morris, I think, just had some. I don't know. He had some issues with quarterbacks. He didn't, he was flip-flopping with quarterbacks too much. I don't think Stefanski's going to do that. I think he's going to make the right decision from that standpoint. So I think the Falcons are in good hands, and I think they're going to give him. I think they're going to try to give him what he needs to win. I do. I think they will. Fourth, I'm going to go with the Giants.
Yeah, definitely.
Just because of once again, historic franchise, but you've got a pretty damn good quarterback in Jackson Dart, regardless of what people want to say about him, about his being hurt and the way he plays and things like that. I tell you what, the kid's got. He's got moxie, he's got spunk, whatever you want to call it, and I think that it's enough to really. he's going to develop into a pretty damn good quarterback, I think.
Healthy Scatterboo next year.
Yeah. Fifth, I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I just think that regardless of what may have happened with Mike McDaniel, and
hold on, folks. Here we go.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not going to really pow on this guy because I mean, I don't have a hatred for him at all. I don't. Contrary to what people think, that I don't think he's head coaching material. I didn't think from day one he was head coaching material.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal offensive coordinator. He is a phenomenal offensive mind. And when you look at the pedigree and some of the coaches that he coached under when he was just starting off, and it's a great story with him, defeating alcoholism and
absolutely.
My hat's off to I people think I hate this guy. I don't hate him at all. I think he's
I'm pants on a man. That's all.
Well, I just think that he's not head coaching material.
Nope.
And I think that they should have realized that, and he should have realized that. You know what I'm saying? Like I just thought that's
No, I agree. He's the good cop. He's not the bad cop. He can never be the bad cop.
No, he's not I think he's a great person. I think
he's saying, like, you have to have a good cop, bad cop. Like,
no, I got you. I know what you're saying. I'm just saying I think he's a great person.
Oh yeah,
and I think he's going to do good in LA. I think he will. I really do. I think he'll do very well. He's very innovative on offense. He's just not a head coach. He's just not cut out to be a head coach. And and there's nothing, bless you. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, some people, I'm afraid of heights, so I'm not cut out to be an iron worker, right? I'm not cut out to climb a ladder as a fireman and climb 9 stories. I'm not, Some people just can't do it,
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. But I think he's going to do good. I like the guy. I contrary to what I've been hard on him, and just some of the stuff he said in some of these press conferences, just like, what the hell, man?
A little wacky.
Yeah, but I mean, those are your guys that need to be offensive coordinators, because they can come up with innovative things,
Totally.
But I think I don't have any hatred at all for the guy. I like him. Personally, I like him. I just don't think. I think he was just a terrible head coach. That's all.
And that's going to be unbelievable in LA. Truly is.
Yeah. 6, I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans. I think, you have kind of I still think Cam Ward, I don't know why everybody's like giving up on this guy. I still think he's going to be, it's just, listen, talk to our buddy, Sammy.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they have a good market down there for football. I mean, it's a good football town. And I think that,
city to go to a game. Wow.
It is. It's a great city. It is. It's a great sports city. It really is.
Yeah.
With the Titans and the Predators. It is. It's a great,
the Nashville soccer as well.
Yeah. Right. But the MLS team. Yeah. But I just I think it's you got a promising young quarterback, and I think a desirable market down there. And I think, so 7, I'm going to go with the Raiders.
I'd go a little higher, man. That guy can coach. Look what he did with Darnold. I would go higher. That's the pushback I'm going to give you. I would go higher. He's going to get a brand new guy into the NFL.
Yeah.
It's just
I mean, they've had when coaching, they've had a high turnover history. They've had a lot of stuff. But I still think when you have Brady on the front office and he can kind of,
but I think that's just kind of a gimmick right now. If he quit his job as a broadcaster and did it full time, dude, that would be immense for that would be impressive for the Raiders.
I don't understand why they're letting them do that. I just don't understand.
I don't think you get a lot out of talking to somebody. I don't think, and he knows enough football. Like if you and I are talking football and you're the coach, I'm the commentator. I've known you for years. We've both been in the league for years. You're not going to tell me anything, and I'm not going to ask you anything, right? I wouldn't be. I mean, I wouldn't do that dick move to anybody. Would you? I mean, you couldn't talk specifics. You could be like, hey, Bill, what's up with your 3-4? You ever thinking about going to 4-3? What's the tendencies of why does your end keep crashing? You're going to be like, you're an asshole, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, but I think if he left his broadcasting job, it would be better for the team.
Yeah. All right. So then my next one would be the Cardinals. Even though they're in the NFC West, even though they're in the toughest division, I'm ranking them above Cleveland. Cleveland's last. Yeah, Cleveland's last because there's just has been no changes in football in top football operations.
Yeah.
They can't. I mean that front office couldn't run a freaking lemonade stand. They could not. They would F it up.
Right.
You know,
they would.
I mean, they are just.
There's no doubt about that. You're absolutely right, Billy. That's how bad they are.
I mean, they're terrible. And I mean, it just, like people keep saying, well, just give them this, give them that. They've had all that, and they still can't get it right. I mean, it's just a joke of a franchise.
And what a way you talk about the history of the NFL. I mean, this is Paul Brown's team, right? The team's named after him, right?
Yeah.
Until he went and bought the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, I just don't understand. I don't get
it. And I get it. Some of these Cleveland fans, like sometimes you kind of feel sorry for them because hell, they lost their team for a while. They become the Ravens, thanks to Art Modell. They bring them back in 90. Yeah. They bring them back in 99. I mean, when you look at it in the 80s when they had, like guys like Bernie Kosar and Golick, and Metcalf and some of these guys. I mean, you had some really amazing guys, back and and they've had some, history. Otto Graham. I mean, you've had a little bit of a storied history, somewhat. Jim Brown. I mean, geez, arguably one of the best running backs ever.
Yeah.
But this team has just, when they came back in the league in '99, it's just been a disaster. I mean, from the get-go, it's just been a disaster.
Well, and I just think they've always been chaotic. But I'm with you. Only pushback I would give is I'd move Oakland or Las Vegas up a tick or two, just because I think that guy can coach quarterbacks, and I think it's the perfect situation for him to go in, coming into the NFL.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to keep going because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Billy, are you excited for what is known as the Combine or the Underwear Olympics, Billy?
It's kind of like a double-edged sword for me because I think, it kind of looks like it's like a 4-day job interview for a lot of these guys. It can impact your draft strategy. It can give teams vital medical, psychological data on some of these guys and kind of see where their headspace is at. On the other hand, it's just kind of overhyped. I think, a fast 40-yard doesn't mean does not guarantee you're going to be successful in the NFL, right? And I mean, I don't know. Like, I think it's fool's gold in a way. I mean, the events, like, it's like track and field. Like, okay, like this is really, this guy has a 40-yard dash that's amazing. But, I mean, it just kind of like, it kind of like analyzes track and field athletes over true football players.
Right. Yeah.
I just, that's what I look at.
And you're right, and it does. And the most popular thing there is the almighty 40, which, vaults people up. It's just silly. But I'm with you. Yeah. And great point. We're going to go to our last one. Billy, the new segment we're doing. Up next, we have the Arizona Cardinals. A couple quick questions for you. What are they going to do at quarterback? They have a high first-round pick. Who are they taking? Go.
I don't know. I mean, do they go with Kyler Murray? I mean, I don't think he's going to be back. I don't know what they're going to do with that. Cap hits and performance is what they're looking at with him. I don't know. That's a very good question.
So they don't come back with Kyler Murray, right?
Yeah.
They roll with Brissett and just
Jacoby Brissett, I think, would probably be their best bet. I think it would be their best bet.
And then they just go later in the rounds, say Cade Klubnik, Nussmeier, something like that. Ty Stinson.
Well, I tell you what, they're going to have to – they got some offensive tackle needs, interior offensive lineman issues. They're going to have to make that top priority, I think. And I think, what do you do with James Conner too,
Yeah, I mean, that guy has been amazing there. He really has.
He has been, but he's starting to wear down. There's starting to be some injuries.
Yeah. There's no doubt.
He's getting up there in age, and running back, it's you only 30, past 30, you're kind of like, you're on your, unless you're Adrian Peterson, or
right.
Frank Gore, right? But I mean, I would say, they need some pass rushers too in defense.
Right.
I mean, they have some issues with that.
Yeah.
But
They're an interesting franchise because you're right. They have a massive problem at quarterback.
yeah,
And
I mean, and I heard that they're supposed to have about 39 to 50 million in cap space,
right.
and that's going to give them a little. That'll help them. That's not a lot, though, really, when you look at
Yeah.
it. But they'll be able to address some of those things, and maybe even the depth at wide receiver, because you got freaking Marvin Lewis, Marvin Harris,
Harrison Jr.
uh,
The second.
Junior, and that's it. Yeah, the second, and that's you don't really.
They got that really good tight
know.
end too. Their tight end's really good. He's the one that set the tight end record for catches.
Yeah.
So you're right. Those are two pieces. They need more running back, but I mean, it looks like they're going to take
Dortch.
Dortch is the one. It looks like they're going to take Francis.
He's hitting free agency too, right? He's a free agent.
Oh, is he really?
I believe. I think he is. Yeah, Greg Dortch is a free agent, man.
Oh, that's bad news for them.
Yeah, so they're going to have to figure that out too.
Well, that guy, they're going to have to franchise him, right?
I would. I would definitely do that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be really
McBride.
That's right, Trey McBride.
Yeah, Trey.
They're going to have a
Diesel. Thanks, buddy.
Diesel saves the day. It's going to be a really interesting offseason. It's going to be, hopefully we're going to maintain, because we had a little break the last couple of years in the offseason. But, hopefully we'll just maintain it and keep going because there's a lot to talk about. With 30% of the league changing over quarterback, with all those different assistants, it's going to be lots and lots to talk about. We're going to have here comes we're already out at the time for the combine. After that, we're going to get, free agency is going to start, I think, March 13th or something in the new year. So March 9th, 10th, the 10, 11, 12 is the legal tampering. So it's going to be, it's going to come fast and furious, right? Where we sit right now.
It always does.
Yeah. I mean, before we know it, here we are, combine. Then, the draft is here in Pittsburgh this year. So, and then guess what? After that, you got the mini camps in May and June. You take a little break in July and bam, we're right back in it.
Right.
So
yeah, it's not going to be long.
Yeah.
It's not going to be long.
We're going to take you through it, both NCAA football. We're going to have spring games, and then we're also going to get to, the NFL. It's going to be awesome. But we got to wrap it up for tonight. Excellent job, William. And John will be back. Good luck to John and his family on the wedding this weekend. And lights out buttons.